So have you lately had a braai and wondered what you're going to do with the wood ash? Chuck it in your rubbish bin, or what are you going to do with it? My name is Jan Libbinger. I'm from Braai Limited Organics. So what are you going to do with the wood ash from your braai? Today we will see how we can utilize that as a free fertilizer.
Refresh your garden with the Braai Limited range of top quality organic products. Braai Limited Organics. Refresh nature.
So wood ash, or potash as we know it, is derived from the two words, obviously wood and then the potash, and that comes from in the olden days where they used plant material or wood and burnt it in a clay pot to get the ash as a fertilizer. So just to clarify what the potash is, you will see in most fertilizers you've got the N, which is nitrogen, the P, that's the phosphates, and then the K, which is potash. Now that's a very important part of the fertilizer. This is one of the three main ingredients of fertilizers, and this is vital for flower forming and for fruit formation. So the ash from our braai contains about 10% potassium. So in other words, if we've got 1 kilogram of ash, we've got about 100 grams of pure potassium. So if you look at the ash, and you'll see the wood is completely burnt into ash. So the white ash is actually what we're after. But don't worry about the pieces of charcoal that's left in the soil. This we can just break up into smaller pieces to create a bigger surface area. This is also beneficial to the soil, as the charcoal will absorb all the bad nutrients from the soil. All the harmful stuff will be absorbed by the charcoal. So don't be alarmed when there's some charcoal in there, but the white wood ash is the one that gives us the potassium content. There are also lots of trace elements in the ash, and trace elements are only needed in small quantities for the plants. So it's better to use the ash before you get a rainstorm. If you leave the ash in your braai and you get a rainstorm, most of the nutrients will be washed out. So it's better to take it the following day after you've braaied and apply it to your garden. The ash and the charcoal will also increase the water holding capacity of the soil. Have you ever noticed after a veld fire how quickly the indigenous plants return and how quickly they grow? It's almost like when they've burned, they've got a new vigor for life. And also there are some plants which needs to be burnt by fire, and some seeds which won't germinate if they didn't get into contact with fire. So potassium is one of the building blocks that are very essential to plants. It makes the cells in the plants much stronger. It gives the fruit and vegetables that we eat a better taste. It gives it a much longer shelf life. And the potassium will also increase the nutrient value of any fruit and vegetables that we eat. So like I've said, potassium is vital for fruit and flower forming. And if you've got the right amount of potassium in your soil, your flowers will flower in abundance, your fruit trees will flower a lot more, and that will give you a lot more fruit as well. And because there's enough potassium available, the fruit will be bigger as well. So potassium has got the ability to make your soil more alkaline. And to clarify the word alkaline, it's almost like making the soil sweet. And it's almost like human beings. Some people like sweet tasting stuff, and some people like sour tasting stuff. And just like with humans, plants, some plants prefer a sweet soil or an alkaline soil, and some plants prefer a sour soil or an acidic soil. So I've actually come to the conclusion that most of our winter crops that we are about to plant in this season likes a more alkaline soil. Plants like potatoes, sweet potatoes, and obviously stuff like blueberries that loves acidic soil, you should stay away with the wood ash and too much potassium, because they won't thrive on that. So two more crops that benefit highly from potassium is garlic and onions. And if you don't have wood ash available, you can go to your local garden center and get yourself a packet of the kelp meal. This is also very high in potassium and will have the same effect as the wood ash. So another vegetable that loves the potassium or the wood ash a lot is spinach. And spinach is good for you because if you eat a lot of spinach, you become strong like Popeye. And by saying this, I might have just given away my age. And even if you're not going to use all the wood ash, you can just take this, put it in a bucket with a lid on, or put it in a bottle or something. You can always store it in your garage or in your garden shed for later use. So I've got these lovely blueberry plants here, and we're going to apply some wood ash to them. Sorry, what did you say? Oh yeah, you're right. I said in the video, these are acid loving plants and we can't apply wood ash to it because that will make the soil alkaline. I almost made a huge mistake. So let's rather go find some plants that do appreciate the wood ash and the lots of potassium. Okay, so here we're in our vegetable garden and we're at the carrot patch, and we're going to take our wood ash and we're going to sprinkle a very liberal layer of ash in between the carrots, and this will promote healthy growth and, like I said, strengthen all the cells of the carrots and give it a better taste. And you don't have to worry to get some of the ash on the leaves. That will do nothing to the plant, so once we water it, it's going to wash off anyway. And some people like to put on a mask for this task, but if you just stand downwind from it, it won't affect you. And you can do this with a nice thick application, and afterwards you can just water it down. So once we've finished with this bed and we've got some ash left, we're going to store it in a container in my garage. So next time when you have a braai, don't throw away the ash. You can always keep it and use it in your vegetable garden. It's a great idea to do that instead of throwing it in the dustbin. So if you want more information on our products and on gardening tips, you can go to our website at www.barkunlimited.co.za. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will send you all the latest videos.
Refresh your garden with the Braai Unlimited range of top quality organic products. Braai Unlimited Organics. Refresh nature.